two-time World Cup winning coach Johan Rassie Erasmus is leading a Christmas walk in Cape Town this morning. He's reflecting on 2025 and looking ahead to the 2026 rugby season. Erasmus will be joined by members of the public along the Northern Beachfront. His number one ranked Springboks had an almost perfect year, defeating some of the world's top rugby nations. Ziniko Mhlaba joining us live now. A big question mark, I suppose, here, Ziniko, is it really in your head? Is it just Rasi? What songs are singing out loud on the streets?
I mean, it's definitely in my head because I had to wake up very early. I'm not a morning person, but yeah, here we are. I mean, yes, indeed. You know, the two-time World Cup winning coach, Rassie Erasmus, has mobilized some members of the public in the coastal towns of the Western Cape for a Christmas walk. And when we got here, we are not sure whether people will turn out, but the number of people who have turned out is actually shocking. I'm looking at about 2,000 people who have just arrived between 5:30 and 6 o'clock. As you can see that now thousands of them are walking through. So we're just almost at the back of this particular walk because the coach is just behind us, is still walking towards us. So the rest of the people are way ahead of us. We are marching, we're walking, we're doing a 3-kilometer walk between Lagos Beach and the Bloomberg Beach. Actually, here's the coach that I'm talking about right there on your visuals. So we're gonna try to walk closer to him, but he had indicated that he cannot engage or sign autograph at this point because all that will be done towards the end of this particular walk. So we can see that he's very much loved right now. This walk is going to take a lot of time because a lot of people now are asking him to take some pictures, sign some autographs as well, as you can see there. So this is the man who is really saying that actually before we started with the walk itself, he had given us some insights in terms of why we are here today. He's saying that there are a lot of people who no longer have families. There are a lot of people who actually won't even have time to spend lunch or dinner with their family members, and they are all alone. So they are saying that this particular march is going to give them that opportunity to be amongst other people, as a lot of families are celebrating Christmas Day today. But as well, as you can see, that many rugby supporters have come out with the Springboks shirts. Others are wearing their team shirts as well. I'm going to bring some of them so that they give us a sense of how they feel about this match. So thank you very much. I see a Stormers fan.
I'm a big Stormers fan, yeah. I live in the UK, so I come out in December and I heard Rasi was having a walk, so I couldn't miss it.
I believe you are coming from across the oceans.
Exactly.
Rasi is very popular. What do you know him for?
Oh, he does a lot for us, for the people who live in overseas and that sort of stuff. It makes you feel home, closer to home for South Africa when we do well in rugby and we, everyone gets around and supports and that. So he does a lot for us that over there,
Okay.
We can't be...
Thank you very much, Brian. Let's keep walking there so that we are not left behind. So this is what Rassie Erasmus has done, and actually is one of the most popular sporting brands, outside the Springboks as an individual. We know that he has been part and parcel of the South African rugby for years. Before he took over the reins as the coach of the team, he was the director of rugby for some years. And of course, when we won that Rugby World Cup in 2019, he was playing that role. And then 2022, he was leading the charge as a coach of the Springboks. So no wonder that he's so popular amongst South Africans across sporting code. Because even if you were to ask, a typical soccer supporter about Rasi, he'll tell you that they know him, they're very proud of him. So we're going to rush to the front as we keep talking to some of the supporters along this particular beach front. And when it comes to the number of people who have come out, as I said, over 2,000. But what's also very interesting and very nice to see is that there's people of all ages. We've got young kids here wearing their Christmas hats, but also we've got senior citizens who were driven here by their sons and granddaughters to come and see Rasi. Others, as you can see, are just tourists who just, saw a number of people coming out and they were asking us what's happening. We told them that this is a Christmas walk by Rasi and they just randomly joined this particular walk. So this is how things are unfolding here, ma'am. Thank you very much. You are live on Newzroom Afrika. Talk to us about what has Rassie done for this country through his responsibility
He's
as a rugby
just such
coach.
a hero. You see how so many people have come out on Christmas morning just to see him, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. He's very inspiring. He always surprises us. I think that's the best thing. Whenever we get an announcement on a Thursday of who the team is, it's a
Yeah.
big surprise.
I mean, how's your Christmas day looking like? We know that the match is going to end. What's on your agenda for today?
We're here from Durban. It was the first thing to do for my son to see Rasi this morning, and then we're enjoying the day with family.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
ma'am.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too. They're so very joyous mood. We're going to try to catch up with the gentleman here who has his daughter walking around here. Sir, how are you? Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you.
Thanks, Merry Christmas to you too, and everyone else who's watching.
Yes, but talk to us about the importance of bringing your little one here. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
What do you love about Rasi? Okay, she's speechless. Thank you very much, man. Let's try to catch up Arabile with the coach. We are a bit behind now because of our conversations. But this is the beauty of sport. And you'll remember that when the former Springbok captain lifted that trophy in 1995 alongside the former president of this country, Nelson Mandela, he made mention of the fact that, sport has the power to unite South Africans when there was that debate about dropping the Springbok emblem or not. And Mandela at that point, 1995, when we first won our very first World Cup, Mandela did say that we're not dropping the Springboks because that's the symbol that has a very history and is part of the heritage of South African sport. So this is the reason why so many people of all races have come out to walk with Rasi. But a very inspirational message that Rasi said at the starting point of this match. He did say that this is not just about him. This is not about him at all. This is about people coming together, people sharing love, people sharing the little that they have on this special day. Because some of the people, within the Cape Town Metro don't have anything to eat for today. So being here, a lot of people will be sharing some snacks at the end of this match. And for some, that might be the only food item they'll be getting today. So this is not just about him as an individual, but it's about uniting the people, which is what the national rugby team has done, over the years. Actually, for the past 10 years, the Springboks have been one of the sporting brands that has united South Africans across the racial lines. And we've seen that, when we watch the Springboks playing in South Africa or also globally, you'll see a lot of supporters coming through, but also giving us a sense of, what is it that the sport can do. Say, talk to us about Rasi. Rasi, is he in your head? You're holding a book there. What's happening?
He's in our heads all the time. He's our man.
I mean, is it the book you've written or you've purchased?
No. It's just a book I purchased. I got it for Christmas last night, and then Rasi signed that for me this morning.
Okay, talk to us about the importance of having a national team such as the Springboks, being loved so much, but also being a symbol of consistency and excellence.
Yes, this brings us all together, South Africans. I mean, Bafana in the AFCON now, so we can support them as well. It's just
Jesus Christ, why are you driving like this? Then there's this gentleman who's just driving crazy here. We continue.
all sports people. It's not only rugby.
Yeah.
We unite sports people and South Africans.
Okay, thank you very much, my brother. So Arabile, this is going to be a 3-kilometer walk between two beaches in the northern suburbs of Cape Town, from Lagos to Blouberg. So we're almost halfway through. So we'll catch up with you maybe in the next 30 or 15 minutes or so. It's back to you in studio for now.
Ziniko, I'm actually going to ask you to try and get a hold of Rasi very quickly. Just ask him, does he feel this pressure? Because this is consistent pressure to always be at the forefront of uniting South Africans again. The sport has done so for decades now and continues to do so. Really, the 30 years of joy that we felt as South Africans in sport has, in some ways, could say, been led by rugby, with so many others also willing to do the job. I don't know if you're able to catch up with him and just ask him, how does the pressure feel to consistently unite South Africa as he consistently does?
Yeah. definitely Arabile will catch up with him in towards the end of this match. He did say that he will give an opportunity to the members of the media to have an opportunity to have a conversation with him. But also, you're raising very important points there, that this is a team that has been consistent for over 30 years. As I said earlier on, 1995, that was our very first attempt at a rugby tournament, especially at that level, after South Africa as a whole was banned from international sport. When we returned, we won that particular World Cup against New Zealand. We did it again in 2007, with John Smith lifting that trophy as well. 2019, we did it again, and of course the last World Cup. So we are actually the most successful rugby team globally. We've won 4 World Cups already, and of course before we won that Rugby World Cup, we were on par with New Zealand, which we know as the real giants when it comes to the rugby game globally. But South Africa has overtaken them over the next 10 years, and obviously in 2025, we did so well as a country, winning with almost a winning margin of just 70% out of 100%. So rugby has done so well, and of course we've seen actually the other sporting codes trying to catch up as well, as we've seen Bafana doing well, coming third in the last AFCON tournament, still winning their first game in this year's edition of. So a lot of our sporting codes are catching up and doing so well, but rugby continues to leading from the front, and they've done so well, as we said, for almost 30 years, but the past 10 years have been actually the highest points which South African rugby has reached when it comes to global sports.
Ziniko Mhlaba, thank you so much for giving us this one. A really great heartfelt story on Christmas Day. Rassie Erasmus, the coach of the South African rugby team, the Springboks, going for a walk and uniting so many along the promenade out in Cape Town. So we'll continue to follow this one and maybe catch up with Rassie a little bit later.